Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
I am that dude, Bodkins. Patty to patty. It's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy. Give a big round of applause for the one and only Bodkin Show. I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkins Show. Good evening, everybody. It's another great episode of the Bodkins Show. You know what it is. I am that dude, of course, Bodkins. Welcome to our lovely Wednesday night Week 10 preview show. Man, we are over about halfway through the season here. It's crazy, cruising along. Man, wild times. The NFL. I mean, we'll talk a little bit of the headlines, a little bit of everything tonight. Jeff Saturday, new coach in Indy. I mean, who would have thought that guy was doing TV and now is a head coach? So, I mean, you know, Jim Irsay, I can call a play. I'm pretty good at Madden, man. You could have called me. I could be the OC if you want somebody that's a pundit head talking TV and you know, has no coaching experience. I coached Little League softball once for my daughters, so I might have just as much qualifications as Jeff Saturday. I mean, I'm not a Hall of Fame football player, but damn near close enough, right? You guys know what it is. We're going to go ahead. We'll jump into. We got a couple guys with us. You know, my main man, Mr. Yankee Finn, Johnny Cruz joining me. Johnny, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on, Nick? I'm chilling, man. Always fun being here with you, bro.
It is, man. I appreciate it as always. Johnny, before we get into our next guest, last week our picks were awful. I mean, I told you if I could fade myself, I would fade myself. I went awful 4-7. Down week. Yeah, Jesus is right. That's why my wife told me to stop betting because I'm just out here losing money. I mean,
I was about to say, I don't even remember what I went, bro.
I got it written here down. Yeah, no, but that's how bad it is. And it's not just football, man. I try to play some bets on NBA. Bad. I mean, I'm about as cold as it gets. I'm as cold as the Green Bay Packers offense, Johnny. That's how bad it is when it comes to gambling right now for me. So we'll see. I put a couple bets in tonight on the NBA. We'll see if they hit. Maybe turn my luck around.
I'm gonna try my hand this weekend, man. I'm gonna try my hand this weekend. See what happens. I'll throw in a few dollars. I ain't trying to spend too much money, but
I didn't. You know, I'm so cold, Johnny. I'm only betting like $2 here and there because just to get catch a win. That's right. How bad it's. That's how bad it's been. Our lovely girl, Miss Gina, she didn't do much better than me. She went 3-9 last week, and you know, you were on the winning side at 6-5. So hey, hung in there just like your Dolphins did against the Bears last week.
Absolutely, a win's a win, man. I'll take it.
Yeah. So Johnny, I had to call in some reinforcements, a guy who knows a lot about bets and maybe picking some games. I said, man, my picks are so bad. Maybe I need to outreach and go above and beyond. I reached out for Ryan Larson. Guess what? He's too busy for the Bodkin Show. So I said, screw you, Ryan. I'm going to reach out to your better brother, the younger, more talented. Give it up for our guest tonight, Mr. Matt Larson, the better version of Ryan. Who needs Ryan when you got the better younger brother in Matt Larson? Larson Bets. Appreciate you, Matt, joining us.
Good to be here with you guys.
Thank you, my friend, for reaching out, for coming on. Hey, before we get into our little half-season awards here, Matt, I mean, you're a big Bills fan. Is it panic mode right now? I mean, Josh Allen listed day to day. Johnny's got to be liking it because this gives his Dolphins a great opportunity here to take this division. What is the pulse of Bills Mafia right now? What's the panic meter, and what should the Bills do, Matt?
Well, I think we all started to sweat a little bit when they took such a long time to let everyone know what the injury was. You know, these guys have great medical personnel, so you feel like you get this information pretty quickly. So I think that what's happening right now is probably he they're downplaying the injury. As a Bills fan, the season is long. I mean, the division is tough this year. Dolphins, Jets, and Patriots are all right there, but you have to play it safe. I mean, Allen's the whole offense.
They said today 23 total of 23 of the 25 total touchdowns the Bills have scored this year has either come from Allen's arm or legs.
Well, and another thing too, Case Keenum has repertoire with Stephon Diggs. He's not, Nate Sudfeld. He's a guy that you can play, and he's been in the big games. He's, been all the way to the NFC Championship game with the Minneapolis Miracle. So, if we got to ride him, let's ride him. And, that's why we pay these guys. We can take a game or two and try to run with it. So, perfect time for him to come in too against the Vikings, his old team. So, if we have to run with that, we will. I saw the line went down a little bit there for Buffalo, but that's to be expected right now. We're a little hesitant. So,
yeah, just for the record, I'm never a fan of injuries. Am I gonna be upset if we took over first place because Josh Allen missed a couple games? No, but of course I want the kid to be there. So I hope he gets healthy quick. I want to see the best players play, and he's one of the best players in the league. So I'm saying I hope he's back. Definitely, even though I'm a Dolphin fan, I hope he's back for that game in Buffalo because that should be a fun game, and I don't want no asterisks next to the Dolphins if we win that game. So hopefully he's okay. I know he's missing this game this week coming up, but hopefully he comes back sooner rather than later, man.
Well, they haven't ruled him out yet for this week. He's day to day.
Oh, I thought I heard something a little while ago so that he was definitely out this week. I might be wrong.
I think they're playing it really close to the grain right now. Okay. They don't want to give Minnesota anything. Right. But, Allen will either get on that field unless they hold him to the sidelines or he can't make it onto the turf. So I think that he will play if he's allowed to. But they should just be as incredibly cautious as possible. This is a great time to get the run game going. So hopefully they, use the 3 running backs that they have invested in. But they have to be very cautious with him.
Man, I'm going to put you here in the coaches, Doug McDermott's, shoes. They say, let's just say Josh Allen, they say, hey, it's day to day, week to week. It's not, if he rests, maybe it gets better, maybe it don't. Do you play him? You mentioned it from the top. This division's stacked here. You could easily lose 2 games and be dead last in this division. Went from Super Bowl contender to dead last in the division.
Well, you definitely have to temper expectations if he doesn't play. I think that you can look at the AFC and see a path maybe not winning the division. I know all these Bills fans that are watching are probably, going to come after me, but if he doesn't play, the expectation is still, a good chance at a playoff run. We're not saying he's not going to play. I think he probably is going to go out there and give it all until his arm falls off. But there are other avenues. And I think this kind of injury, it's 3 to 4 weeks. If it's a sprain, tears, you're going to have surgery, things like that. So, you take those 3-4 weeks, you see what happens, or you ride it and, you could potentially lose the entire season. Because I can guarantee that if Josh Allen is not the quarterback, come playoff time, he won't be, and neither will the Bills be in the playoffs.
Well, you can't just, also throw him out there and risk this season and future seasons.
Right.
This kid's only in his 4th season. Is it 4th or 5th season?
4th season, he's only 26. So
yeah. So he's got
this might be the best week. This might be the best week to sit him out though. Against it's a non-conference game. You know what I mean? So the conference games are what are really going to matter. Of course, the overall record, of course, matters. But you got the Vikings, then you home against the Bills, and then you're at Detroit. So, you don't think they got enough defense and running game to possibly squeak out a couple wins? I think that especially if it means you're definitely going to have him down the stretch. If you got to rest this kid, man. Like you said, he's still young. I don't know, man. I wouldn't even bother trying to play him this week.
And again,
to be quite honest,
Keenum is probably in the top 3 backup quarterbacks in the league.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can win several games with him, especially with how well coached Buffalo is, how well coached their defense is. You know, it's time to start relying on other parts of the team than just Josh Allen, because that's been the biggest criticism about Buffalo is they can't do anything unless Josh Allen is playing quarterback for them. Seems like on both sides of the ball sometimes. So I think that's, this is a good opportunity for Buffalo and their team.
Yeah, in case people forget, Case Keenum took a Vikings team to the NFC Championship game with Stephon Diggs. So it's not like he's got the rapport there with Diggs. Right. And this Bills team to me is better than that Minnesota team. Speaking of Minnesota, this is it, right? Like, this is how they've been so lucky. Like, every break has gone Minnesota's way. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they face every backup quarterback. I mean, Johnny, they face your fourth string quarterback and Skylar Thompson.
I was just about to say my last show. I said that I'm not gonna poo-poo the Vikings anymore, because I've been calling them frauds this whole time. But I was like, you know what, 7-1 is 7-1, so I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop shitting on them. But I am not a believer in Minnesota. So, you know what I'm saying? I think Buffalo can win this game with Case Keenum. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Because this is twice that they're flying across the country. I think Buffalo can win this game with Case Keenum. Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll get into to that game specific. I just wanted to get Matt's, check the pulse of Bills Mafia, and just kind of see what's the panic meter. Give me a number, Matt, just so.
I think right now I would say maybe a 3 or a 4. Allen, watching him the last 4 seasons, like I said, he's going to play until his arm falls off, and there may be some level of decrease in his ability, but that's going from 150 to 140. He's just that kind of player. Buffalo's got an opportunity now to look at things differently on their offense, maybe run the ball a little more, maybe, take Allen out of the equation as much as they possibly can. And also Buffalo has a great backup quarterback, and they have a great foundation. I think that's one of the biggest things. We see our star players get hurt, or we're worried about them, but you have to look at your coaching. You have to look at the foundation of the team. And right now Buffalo has to be the number one foundational team in terms of roster, maybe the 49ers, right there. So I think that the panic's 3 or 4, losing to the Jets always increases those numbers a little bit, but we've had a few days to lower the numbers. So
facts, see.
Yeah. Hey, Johnny, the apple don't fall too far from the tree, as Cruz Jr. says Minnesota fake good team. So hey, let's get into some of these awards before we start breaking down on these games. Matt, we'll start with you. Give me your offensive rookie of the year so far.
So I have Dameon Pierce, but I really want to lean Kenneth Walker. The only reason why I'm not is, we got the rest of the season to go through. I mean, Dameon Pierce has been the entire offense for Houston. But really, if Kenneth Walker had played, in the beginning of the season and didn't share snaps with Rashad Penny, we probably would be talking a different conversation. But with Dameon Pierce, I mean, if you take him out of the game, you put Rex Burkhead in, this team is losing by 30, 40 points. I mean, they're running him to the ground. And he's been very successful with that, even with a porous Houston Texans team. So I'm going to go Dameon Pierce.
Johnny, who's your offensive rookie of the year so far?
Well, that was going to be my pick. If Breece Hall would have stayed healthy, I think he definitely would have gotten it. But I will go with Kenneth Walker. I mean, he's a big reason why Seattle is in first place. I know Geno is playing well, but these running backs that came into the league this year, there's a few of them that are playing very well. Once your Bills get James Cook incorporated more, because I hated the fact that you guys drafted him. But I'll go with Walker, man. He's playing well, and Seattle's back to the running and playing defense and asking the quarterback not to make any mistakes, and they're in first place. So I'll give it to him. He's running for a first place team, so I'll give it to Kenny Walker.
Yeah, Ryan says Olave deserves.
Yeah, and so does Garrett Wilson for the Jets.
I was going to say, if Joe Flacco was the quarterback for the New York Jets, I would have screamed Garrett Wilson. But
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good rookies out there. But yeah, I think Pierce is the rookie of the year, bro. He's a stud, man.
I say it every week. I love Kenneth Walker, and that's who my Johnny, you laid it out. I mean, that Seattle team, they're winning. He's a big reason for it. I expect in the second half of the season going forward, if the season ended today, I'd still love to give it to him. Olave's been good, but I just think what Seattle's doing, they're gonna have they got to have somebody get some hardware. And why not give it to their, beast mode juniors, what I like to call them, in Kenneth Walker III.
Yeah.
Johnny, go ahead. Who's your defensive rookie of the year right now?
I gotta, as much as it hurts as a Dolphin fan, but I'm gonna have to go with Sauce Gardner for the Jets. I mean, the kid, I didn't expect him to come in and be a shutdown corner. But he's playing about as well as you could possibly want a rookie corner to play. And not only that, but he, like, some of his instincts and stuff, like that pick, he shouldn't have been anywhere near that interception that Josh Allen threw. But he just played Josh Allen so well and read it well. I'm gonna have to go with Sauce on this one, man. He's playing very, very good football, and he's got the Reed kid on the other side is balling too. So. Yeah, I got to give it to Sauce, man. I never would have thought he would have been this. I knew he was good, but he's gonna be a top 5, top 10 corner if he's not already quickly.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I love about Sauce is that he brings that extra swagger, like that extra bravado.
Perfect for New York, bro. Perfect for New York.
To the Jets team, something that they've missing, that extra swag, that extra, I mean, shit, he's walking around with a cheese head on Lambeau after that big win that they got. Like, hey, man, you know what? You dominate us and you do what you did out there. Like, go ahead, man. You get to do all the talking. Matt, who's yours? Unless you got the same or you got somebody different.
Unanimous. It's Sauce Gardner. I mean, we knew he was a lockdown corner, but he's had turnovers. He's completely changed the Jets defense. Him and CJ Mosley, and Quinnen Williams as well. So it's Sauce Gardner, and I can't even tell you who I would put at number 2. I think he's just run away with it. He's really changed the dynamic of that entire team.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. It's unanimous, man. We're all in on Sauce. I mean, the kid is phenomenal. He just, like I said, he brings the extra, something to the table that kind of Deion Sanders. I'm not comparing him to, but that, you know what I mean? Like that Deion Sanders-esque
Darrelle Revis, like.
Yes, that extra swag. And speaking of that, our guy Allen's chiming in, said Sauce second coming of Revis Island. I mean,
a bigger version too, bro. He ain't small.
Yes, very tall.
He's a big boy. He's physical. I don't know, man. I mean,
Allen also chiming in here, says Walker wins Rookie of the Year, Sauce wins Defensive Player of the Year. Ryan saying Sauce is top 3 in the league already, hands down.
I mean, he's playing like it. I don't know if I would put him there. It's only been 9 games, but he's playing at that level. Let's see if he finishes off the season that way. But like I said, he very well could finish off being a top 5 corner this year, and then we'll take it from there.
I'd give Aiden Hutchinson just an honor of mention. I know the Lions are awful, but the dude, that kid's been playing. He's been one of their few bright spots on that shitty defense of theirs. So
yeah, facts.
I would give Aiden
not
Hutchinson
for nothing, but on that same defense too. They got a young linebacker, number 44, that they got like in the 4th round. Jeez, I'm blanking on his name, but that kid is a stud, bro. Like watching the tape last week of the Detroit game against the Dolphins. I'm gonna have to look it up, but this 44, the rookie linebacker, 4th round pick, he's gonna be. They found a gem right there.
Yeah, go ahead, Matt. Who is your defensive player of the year?
Can it be Sauce Gardner? I mean,
or his teammate Quentin Williams.
Yeah, I mean, Sauce. He definitely. We see somebody here saying Kyle Hamilton. He's definitely had a great year too. Matthew Judon for the Patriots.
Yeah, Judon.
Excellent season so far.
He's kept the Patriots in games. Like
he could eclipse 20 sacks this year, and we wouldn't even be shocked. So you want to go with a non-rookie. I would go Judon right now. we'll see. Micah Parsons obviously has been absolutely incredible. He's, anchored the Cowboys defense, kept them in games. But hey, let's give 2 titles to Sauce, just not the Super Bowl.
Facts.
Hey, nobody. The last person that took the Jets to the Super Bowl was doing this number. You know what I mean? And I know Johnny's older than us, but he wasn't even allowed for that one. You know what I mean?
Nah, I ain't that old. I wasn't even old enough to be here when the Dolphins went perfect. So no, I ain't quite that old. But I'm not gonna go Sauce. I mean, like I said, I would pick Quentin over him if I was gonna go Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, Micah Parsons is always up there as well. But yeah, I think you guys hit Judon is balling, bro. Judon is playing great right now. So I think if I had to pick one right now, it would be either Quentin or Judon. So just to get off the Jets off the Jets a little. That's enough, sweating on the Jets right now. So I'll go with
somewhere.
Judon
Dan Harris
from the
is
Pats.
smiling. Yeah, Dan Harris is smiling.
Yes, he is.
Somewhere.
But no, I'll go Judon, man. He's playing very, very well, man.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have said it, but you won't give it to him. It's Micah Parsons, man. I mean, that guy is an absolute game changer. Hey, there's just some people I just absolutely have love for, and he's one of them. I hate the Cowboys, but I love Micah Parsons.
He's a top 5 player overall in the league, bro. He's a dude, bro. He's a special dude, bro.
He is LT-esque.
Yes.
That's the type of talent he can be and is. I mean, it's Parsons, and he's probably going to come wreck Aaron Rodgers this Sunday and get and get that W. So
nothing's worse than last week.
No, it doesn't get much worse than last week. But I gave up on my Packers 2 weeks ago, so I don't want to,
your Packers cost me $400. So
yeah, stop bringing up old stuff.
Even the Eagles fan Ryan says it's Parsons. And Alan's of course, the Cowboys fan. If it's not Micah, it's wrong.
It's true. Like I said, you got to give Quentin Williams some love, though. Like he is, not only is he playing well against the run, but he's putting pressure on the quarterback, which is making it a little easier for Sauce and Reed in the back end. I mean, Quentin Williams, man, you got to. I mean, if you're paying attention, he's balling out right now. But yeah, Micah Parsons. I mean, it's sad to say that it's an easy one to pick him, and he's only his second year. But it's like you expect him to be in the conversation. You know what I mean? That's crazy, man, for a second-year player.
It is. I mean, it's like Aaron Donald when he was You know what I mean? When Aaron Donald was coming up, like exactly. It's just like, man, this guy. There's men, and then there's grown-ass men. And Aaron Donald and Micah Parsons is one of them. You know what I mean? Like, they're like grown men playing this game that people have no answers for. Johnny, go ahead and give me your Offensive Player of the Year award.
I think it should be unanimous with Tyreek Hill. I mean, I'm just saying he's breaking records. He was supposed to have a drop off in production because he went from Mahomes to Tua, and he's doing nothing but breaking records, and he completely changed the offense for the Dolphins. So yeah, I will go Mr. Hill right now, in my opinion, Offensive Player of the Year.
Matt, who you got?
It's probably not one that many would do, but I'll give it to Travis Kelce. In terms of the position, I don't think anybody even comes close to his level of skill. Maybe Mark Andrews, but he is saving Kansas City's passing attack. We have Juju starting to come around, but he has been solid all year long. If you look at his numbers compared to all the other tight ends, it's not even close. I know most of the time we want to give this award to a running back or a wide receiver, but you just can't discredit what Kelce has done, so far, and what he's probably going to continue to do, throughout the rest of the year. So I'm going to go Kelce.
Yeah, Ryan, again, he's chiming in. Chubb deserves a mention, carries that offense.
Absolutely.
I agree. Chubb could get honorable mention for as good as that. I mean, the Browns aren't, but he is their offense.
Right. And I mean, winning has to be part of the equation, in my opinion. If it's a close, if you're picking, if it's right there, I think wins has to be a factor. And I love Nick Chubb. I think he's balling, and he is having a great year. But I would go Kelce or Hill over Chubb. But Yeah, Kelsey's a good one. You can't go wrong with that one there. I mean, it's a Hall of Famer already, bro.
Yeah, he'll never get the award. I mean, offensive rookie or player of the year always goes to, some stud wide receiver running back, which
Right.
is fine, but it's like the MVP award. It's the quarterback award, really.
True that, Alan.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you guys, and I'm with Alan here. I like Hill. I mean, what he's done for that Miami offense. I know he's only had 2 or 3 touchdowns, but dude is balling out every game, over 1,000 yards receiving already, and we're just halfway home. The guys could probably go. He's going to go for possibly could go over 2,000. The way they're scheming him. Then you have Jalen Waddle on the other side, so it's hard to double either one of them.
Right.
And plus the speed of Tyreek, it's just I'll give it to Tyreek right now. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Tyreek. Go ahead and Johnny, we'll start with you. Give me your MVP.
Oof. Wow, this is MVP right now. Yeah, you can go ahead and go first, Matt.
Josh Allen.
Matt's got Josh Allen. Hands down, Josh Allen. Homer pick there. But I mean, that's not a wrong pick, even it being a homer pick.
Mahomes number 2 for sure. I mean, that we did beat them, but that team has been absolutely phenomenal. Losing Tyreek Hill, who we're just talking about being in the offensive player of the year, and still doing what they're doing over there in Kansas City. So he's definitely number 2. If Allen gets hurt, can't play, I predict Mahomes will probably win the MVP this year.
Okay, are we doing at the halfway point, or
yeah,
we
halfway
think?
At the point.
Okay, at the halfway point, then
I stand by my choice.
You're good. It's all good. I'm struggling not to say Tua, even though I know that'll irritate Nick real good. But I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree with your brother and go with Jalen Hurts. I mean, if you're gonna go at this point in time MVP, and then you're not gonna give it to AJ Brown, then I would say Jalen Hurts. I mean, he's got the only undefeated team. He's playing extremely well. The offense is clear. I mean, they're throwing up numbers on everybody. So at this point in time, the halfway mark, I'll go with Jalen Hurts.
So Craig saying Parsons, defensive player, offensive player, Tyreek, and he's got Hurts as MVP. Ryan's trying to say he's not a homer. Must run in the Larson family, these homer picks. MVP got to be Hurts. And then
Saquon is playing well.
Saquon, that's probably, Allen's got a point there, 6-2, and they ain't got name one other offensive player on the Giants outside of Saquon.
All the hurt wide receivers.
Exactly. You can't name one.
I mean, I can, but they're not worth naming. So,
yes, exactly.
So I didn't say nothing.
Exactly. My MVP, I do like the Saquon pick. Allen makes an incredible point, but to me, it is going to go. It's Patty Mahomes to me. And here's, Matt kind of laid it out. I mean, everybody else gained receivers, right? Derek Carr gained Devontae. I guess the Bills really didn't add a whole lot of people, but still got some more talent added to their team. Patty loses his number 1 target, and Tyreek Hill gets new faces. MVS gets Pacheco, Sky Moore. I mean, Mecole Hardman was like the number 4 guy and is now like the number 2 or 1 guy, and they're still winning, and he's still putting up crazy numbers. I mean,
he won that game on Sunday night by himself, bro. Because they should have lost that game, and he won that game by himself. I mean, you can't go wrong with Patrick Mahomes. So that's a good call that he lost his receiver while other guys gained a top-notch receiver, and he's still playing at his level.
Out. Yeah. He's playing tops out. I mean, still has Travis Kelce, which, I mean, Matt gave him this offensive player of the year, which, I mean, hands down, that's a good point. But give me, you know what I mean? It's almost like Aaron Rodgers with Devontae, and then nobody else with, when it comes to Pat Mahomes and Kelce, and it's just a bunch of guys that probably wouldn't really be your number 2 receiver on most teams, and they're still putting up a heck of a points. I mean, remember, everybody was writing off the Chiefs too in this AFC West was the best division. Now everybody else has pooped the bed besides the Chiefs in that damn division, and they're still, could very easily be the number one team in the AFC and have home field advantage.
Dude, I think honestly, if Andy Reid coaches for another 5-10 years, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is going to be good regardless. But the combination of him and Andy Reid with the stuff that he comes up with, man, I mean, that's a killer combination, man. That's about as close to Washington, Montana that you're going to get, and with a better, more, a physically better quarterback than Montana in Patrick Mahomes. So, yeah, that kid is, he's elite, man.
I do feel a little bad. We should give an honorable mention to Derrick Henry, offensive player of the year. How he was robbed of the MVP as well. Same thing with Cooper Kupp. Not so much this year, but last year. So we have to give our honorable mentions to these guys. They always get, sent to the side.
True.
Derrick Henry, especially when he's carrying the ball 30 times and running it for 400, 200
almost
yards.
Beating the Chiefs by yourself with a quarterback that you could probably throw better than.
Yeah. To his defense, he has no receivers. So, no quarterback, no receivers. And everybody knows what the Titans are doing, and they still can't stop it. So, kudos to Derrick Henry. King Henry still reigns. One more before we get into the picks. Matt, go ahead and give me your Coach of the Year award right now.
So you guys hate on Minnesota, but I'm going to give it to Kevin O'Connell. I think Nick Sirianni's done a good job in Philly, 8-0. Schedule's been a little soft. Vikings have had a lot of opportunities to really show that they're trying to improve, take over the division away from the Packers. They were stuck in a rut with Mike Zimmer for I don't even know how many years. So I'm going to give it to Kevin O'Connell. I think if he wins against Buffalo this week, you're really going to start to see those calls for him to be Coach of the Year, especially if they finish 12-13 wins. So I'll go away from Sirianni and I'll go with Kevin O'Connell just to get Ryan going there in the comments.
I'm not going Sirianni either, not for nothing. But I'm gonna go Dabo because nobody expected the Giants to be any good. Minnesota was already good. Philly was already good. Nobody expected this from the New York Football Giants at all. And Brian Daboll completely flipped that team, and they are playing well. I know they just came off their bye, so nobody, it's like, out of sight, out of mind. But the Giants are 6-2, and nobody was picking them to be any kind of good this year. So I'm gonna have to go with Brian Daboll on this one.
Yeah, Johnny, you kind of stole mine. Alan says Arthur Smith. Atlanta's supposed to be in the
Pete Carroll. That's good.
The NFL this year has really given us a plethora of teams that have not done well. In the last few years that have really turned around, and a lot of teams that have done well, blunder. So it's there's a lot of opportunity here for Coach of the Year. I think I don't think there's any wrong answers with any of those guys.
Yeah, I got to give it to right now. If the season ends today, though, it's got to be Nick Sirianni. I was going to go Daboll, who I've always said and liked constantly every week. I praise him on this show. But I'm going to give it to Nick Sirianni. When you have 0 losses and you're the best, best record in all of football, the coaching gets it done. And they've done it different ways, whether it's passing, whether it's running. He's coached that team up, and this is a guy who was at the Colts, and since he left the Colts have went real downhill. So in the last 2 years, so maybe Sirianni knows something. So I'm going to give it to Nick Sirianni.
Like Matt said, man, there's a lot of good candidates. Pete Carroll, absolutely. Not to be a homer, but Mike McDaniel's coaching well. There's a lot of good candidates. I don't know, man. This has been a fun season so far. Nick, I know that you're not in a good place right now mentally because of your team. But, as far as like just pure entertainment and all the storylines, this NFL season has been so much fun so far.
It has. And, it's Matt kind of alluded to it. What used to be was up is now seems to be down. And what was done seems to be now up.
Right.
So, that's that. That's just the best way to say it. Let's get into these picks. And this week here, we got tomorrow night's game. Falcons head to the Panthers. The Falcons are the favorite at 2.5. These two teams just played little over 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks ago. The Falcons won a thriller. Remember, it was DJ Moore took his helmet off. Panthers missed the extra point, missed the kick in overtime. Atlanta pulls it out. Matt, how you like this one? It's a 2.5 Atlanta favorite headed into Carolina.
I like the Falcons in this one. I feel pretty comfortable with that. Unfortunately, with these bad teams, they can certainly have their follies. Falcons are in the dead heat of the race for the NFC division, the West division. I definitely think that the Panthers are done, especially with the shellacking they took from Cincinnati last week. Their experiments at quarterback are going to continue to hurt them. Falcons run the ball, 60-70% of the time. I wouldn't hate the under in this game either, but 2.5 is just fine with me for Atlanta.
Yeah, Johnny, they're going. Baker came in that second half and had a pretty, they were down. Game script let them sling it all over the field, which that's something Baker can do. But they're going back to PJ Walker here. You buying back in on PJ, or PJ's? I don't understand. Why not play Baker? I mean, you're paying him. He's the better.
I don't know. I would stay with PJ Walker, to be quite honest. I mean, you know what Baker is already. He ain't gonna be there next year. You know what I'm saying? So give this kid a fair shot. Just let him play, see what happens. But I am still gonna go with the ATL on this one here. I'm riding with Matt on this. I've liked Atlanta most of the year. They seem to, if they don't win, they're covering, I'm sure, a majority of their games.
They're very good.
All but two.
Yeah. So I think I'm not a big fan of the road teams on these Thursday night games, but I mean, what is that like that's about as short a trip as it is from Atlanta to Carolina. So I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say Atlanta, wins the game, and they definitely cover the 2.5. So I'll go with the ATL.
I think both these teams are going to want to run the ball a lot. It's going to be a lot of Patterson and a lot of Deontay Foreman. Man, I'm going to give it to a 2.5. It's kind of a pick 'em. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to lock it in. We're all in on Atlanta, baby.
The running game travels, bro. So now that's all Arthur Smith wants to do is run the ball and ask Mariota to not do too much. So
Ryan's added no Terrell again at cornerback for Atlanta. He missed the last shootout between these two a few weeks ago. So
hit the under on this game. I feel very confident. Thursday night games have had a hard time scoring already. These two teams run the ball to death. They can't throw. I think Mariota throws the ball 6 times a game. Drake London hasn't caught a ball. I can't even remember. Thank God I traded him on my fantasy team.
Poor kid, man.
He
had to get drafted. He had to get drafted by Atlanta.
The over-under is 42.5. That's kind of low. Still, even for two crap teams, I feel like they could almost.
I like it.
Nah, I mean, I would stay. I mean, I hear Matt on the under, honestly, because like I said, all Atlanta wants to do is just run the ball. They're gonna want to run the ball and get the hell up out of there. So it could very well be a 20-13, 20-10 game, something like that. 17-13. It might be something ugly like that for real.
The only way they don't go or they go past the under is Patterson has 6 breakout runs and they score fast. Yeah. None of these teams are going to be shooting out, to
turnover
win.
type shit. Yeah.
I need Deontay Foreman to score at least 2 touchdowns in this game. So if they could do that, just because I got him on my fantasy team.
Okay.
Make up for the dud that he gave me last week.
That one's not gambling advice.
Yeah, I can be the only person in the world that had Joe Mixon on their fantasy team and still lose. So there's that.
My heart goes out to you.
That's right. I think no. Did I play Tanner this week? I played Tanner this week.
Just to sprinkle some luck on you, Nick. Since I'm here, I had Fields and Mixon last week. So hopefully I rained down on this podcast here for you.
The guy I went against had Fields, so there's that. So that's just canceled out Joe Mixon's day. Let's get into the game in Germany here, boys. Two teams traveling all the way across the pond. It's Seattle is the dog here at 2.5 against somehow the Bucks pull that game out against the Rams. I'm surprised the Bucks are the favorite here, Johnny, because I mean, really all year Seattle's looked like the better team. But here they are, the dog at 2.5.
This is such a Tom Brady, you know what I'm saying? The Tom Brady factor is why they're favorites here, because there is no other reason for them to be favorites here. Like I so want to ride with Geno Smith in Seattle, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Seattle, man. They're getting points here too, right? Yeah, I'm gonna go with Seattle, man. I think Seattle wins this outright too. I mean, they're just a better team right now. I mean, the Bucks pulled that last game. They pulled that out their rear ends right at the last second. You can't leave Tom Brady 40-something seconds. Come on now. But no, I like what Seattle's doing. We talked about Geno. We talked about their running game. They are playing very good defense. So I'm gonna give it to Pete Carroll and his boys, and I'm gonna say Seattle not only covers, but they win this game.
Matt, what's your thoughts here? Seattle 2.5 dog going against the Bucks here in Germany.
I will take the Buccaneers -2.5. I personally am not going to bet this game. It's definitely tight. Maybe the money line for the Bucks, but at 2.5, I feel comfortable with. If it was any higher, I'd probably take the Seattle, the line for Seattle. But I like the Buccaneers. I know it was a comeback win last week. I said on a couple of Thursday shows ago that Brady hasn't had the best time. He's had a lot of rocky things go on in his life, but as the season goes on, things get longer. These veterans, they start to hone in on their receivers. They start getting more comfortable. I think this is the coastline for Brady now. He's going to be starting to ramp up, get ready for the playoffs, because he sees the easy road that he could have to the Super Bowl if he makes the playoffs this year from the NFC. So I'll take Brady. I would go money line, but I'll give the 2.5 points since we're going with the spreads here.
Was that a shot fired at your brother's Eagles right there?
Well, let's put it this way: he won't even see the Eagles because they'll probably lose in the first round.
Oh man, Ryan, I don't know if you're still listening, but hey, Thanksgiving's got to be a good time at the Larson family house.
I bet.
Hey, man, it's tough for me. I was about to say after last week, I went against Seattle and they showed me I should never do it again. But at the same time, man, it's tough to pick against Tom Brady and his goatness.
I don't blame you, bro. I mean, they might have saved their season last week.
I'm not buying it. The Bucks got to prove it to me 2 weeks in a row.
That's what
I'm riding with Seattle, baby. Give me the +2.5.
I so want Geno Smith and Pete Carroll to be successful, bro. And I like Russell Wilson, but there was, you know what I'm saying? I want Seattle to do well. I want Pete Carroll to do well. So, and if Tom Brady has tortured me and the AFC East for 20 years, you know what I'm saying? Let him go out with a losing record his last season.
Ryan, we're going into your Bills here. This line has dropped and it keeps dropping, but the Bills are still favored at -3.5 as the Vikings come to town. Who knows who's starting at quarterback here, but right now it's Bills are the favorite at -3.5. Who you like in this one?
I'd certainly wait to make your bet on this one until you hear who's going to play. If it's not Josh Allen, I will take +3.5 Minnesota. If it is Josh Allen, I will take -3.5 Buffalo. Since we have to make one choice here, I will go with my dogs, the Bills, at -3.5. But again, definitely something we're going to be watching. I'm not making any money decisions yet.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And welcome to the program, my brother from another mother, Mr. Craig with a K. Thanks for joining us, Craig. Craig, we're talking Bills and Vikings. We don't know who really the quarterback is. I know you've been listening as you were driving home before you got here. But who you like in this one as Vikings come to Buffalo, and it's 3.5 favorite for the Bills.
Well, I think, we just said it. If you got to make the bet right now, I'm taking the Vikings just because you don't know what's going on with Josh Allen. You don't know what you're getting come Sunday with the Bills. So if you got to bet on it right now, I'm taking the Vikings. Now, if Josh Allen plays, when I sent you my picks earlier because I wasn't sure what time I was going to make the show, the line was 5.5, and it's 3.5 now. So you see which way it's going pretty quick, and that's just all about the news with Josh Allen. So for our picks right now, I got to take the Vikings. If Josh Allen were to play, the Bills at home, 3.5 points against anybody in the league, I'm going to take the Bills if they're healthy. But with the news with Josh Allen right now, I got to go Minnesota.
There's your answer, Ryan. It's already dropped 2.5, and that's just because they're not too sure who's starting. So
I could see it dropping down more, maybe to 2.
Yeah,
2.5. Yeah,
probably.
I was say maybe it just straight pick them.
I was just about to say, could it even fall to a pick 'em?
Or maybe even Minnesota. I would favor Minnesota if Josh Allen's not playing. I think almost.
Normally the spread is 3 points to the home team, right? So if it's Bills by 3, it's basically a pick 'em.
Right.
Yeah.
In fact, first of all, what's up, Craig? Second, I gotta completely ride with both of these guys. If I have to pick it right now, I'm gonna pick Minnesota, even though I think Buffalo can win with Case Keenum. But if you're gonna give Minnesota 3.5 points as well, obviously if Josh Allen plays, that completely changes everything. But if we're picking right now, I will take Minnesota and the 3.5.
Yeah, I'm with you guys, man. It all depends. This is what sucks about doing a Wednesday show, picking Sunday games, because this injury is happened. And I think the way the Bills played last week, if Josh Allen plays this week, they're going to come out with their heads on fire, pissed off, and just light Minnesota up, possibly. Minnesota they struggled. They played every game close. That's the thing with Minnesota. Every one of their games, we talked about it on the Sunday night show. Every one of their games, besides pretty much the Packers game, has been a single-digit game, a one-score game. And I'm going to go ahead. If you're giving me some points, I'm going to go ahead and I'll take Minnesota at plus 3.5. But if it was vice versa, if Josh Allen was playing, I'd almost still take the Bills. But Minnesota continues to play up with its competition and down with its competition. So I'm going to take Minnesota here. Let's get into the next one here. It's the Lions headed to the Bears, Craig. The Bears have found an offense, and they find themselves a 2.5 point favorite here, Craig. Are you riding? I know you're already going to go ahead. I'll just write it down now. You're riding with your boy Justin Fields and that the newfound Bears offense.
Hey, almost every week I'm sitting on Bears Island. So the fact that our offense is starting to look better might change that. But the thing is, the defense doesn't look better. So I feel like Detroit's going to be able to score in this game. But we saw, the last 3 weeks, Chicago scored points against Bill Belichick, scored points against Dallas, scored points against Miami. Those are all 3 good defenses. And Justin Fields looks like ever since the Bears came out of that mini bye after they lost that Thursday night game with the muffed punt to the Commanders, they had the long layoff, and it seems like they kind of found something in the offense because they've been scoring points. So Bears at home, 2.5, I'm taking Chicago, man.
Matt, what's your sentiments here on Bears, Detroit? Craig laid it out. Bears found an offense. Justin Fields, man, if there's a vote for most improved player right now, it might be Justin Fields. He has found something. They're letting him use his legs. Who you like here? Detroit or the Bears? Bears the favorite at 2.5.
I love the Bears. This is the lock of the week for me. I will be putting some straight cash on this game. Very confident. I love the over as well. Fields has found it. I think he doesn't stop finding it. I think that the Lions just won their Super Bowl. They're coming off of that. It's going to be in Chicago. The Lions might score some points. Chicago needs to figure that defense out, but Fields is turning into the new NFC North quarterback to have, and I think he gets the job done against Detroit. Also, I would be probably shocked and beyond belief if the Lions could win 2 games in a row.
Hey, Johnny Matt said he's putting straight cash, homie, on this.
I was just about to say. I was about to say he feeling the NFC North right there, dropping the Moss line. I'm right with them. I mean, bro. I mean, you need to watch the tape. Justin is just that was ridiculous, bro. He was embarrassing people, bro. Like that was fun to watch. Especially once the game was over and we actually won the game. It was a lot more fun to watch the second time. But I've liked Justin Fields since the draft. I thought he should have been picked right behind Trevor Lawrence. Your Bears lucked out, and you know what I'm saying, for whatever reason, people were hating on Justin Fields, and he's just starting to figure it out. This coach is actually building an offense for him as opposed to Nagy trying to fit him into his offense. So, I mean, like you said, if he's putting 39 up on or 33 up on Bill Belichick and company, they're going to put a bunch of points on Detroit, and they run the ball. And Detroit's defense, I like the Bears big time in this, and I ain't putting no money on it, but you know what I'm saying, if I was, I gotta agree with the gentleman here and go with the Bears big time here.
Matt, you said you would take the over. The over is 48. So I mean, I expect, I don't know, Detroit seems to have lost their offense. Like the first 3 weeks of the season, they were putting a hell of a lot of points up, and now it seems like ever since they played New England, they haven't been able to score anything. I'm not too sure why that is. I think they need to get my boy Amon St. Brown back going. I mean, they traded TJ Hawkinson. The Bears added some offense, added Chase Claypool. I thought while Chase didn't add a whole lot, I still thought he added some. They're getting Cole Kmet is coming alive. He scored 2 touchdowns the last 2 weeks. Darnell Mooney's coming alive. You know what, Craig? You used to be on Bears Island, but your Bears are turning it around. We're all in on the Bears, baby.
Dude, they got some pieces, bro. They got some pieces for you, Craig.
I know you've been, having your Packers funeral for 2 weeks in a row now, but can we pray to the football gods that we're having a funeral of the era of Green Bay having a more talented quarterback than Chicago? Because I'm over that time period.
Hey, not until Aaron Rodgers retires.
But I don't know. I might take this version of Justin Fields over this version of Aaron Rodgers right now that I'm seeing.
You bet I would.
I was about to say, yeah, man. Right now,
on the Hall of
right
Fame,
now,
two-time reigning MVP quarterback. Hey, I said, I'm on record saying I thought Justin Fields was the second best quarterback in this division at the very beginning of the year. I'm on record for saying that, so I won't put him past Aaron Rodgers because as much as I've buried the Packers, I just can't quite say that. That I can't put that sentence together, Craig. I can't form it. I can't even think about formulating that. Just if right, see, I tried. It just won't come out.
Dude, he's fun to watch, man.
He is.
He's fun to watch. Enjoy him, Craig.
We haven't
enjoy him, Craig.
In my life, and I'm fairly old, so
I
feel you, bro. I feel
this is how much I like Fields. I've literally started playing Madden, and I started with the Texans. I traded for Justin Fields because I like the kid. So I've been using him on Madden, not with the Bears because I can't play with the Bears, but with the Texans. So there's that. Let's get into the next game here. The Broncos, let's ride, are the 2-point dog headed to Tennessee. Not too sure who their starting quarterback is either. Man, the over under here is 37, which I'd still almost want to take the under with these two crappy offenses. Johnny, we'll start with you. You like Russ here in the Broncos, a 2-point, I think they were the dog in this one. Yeah, 2-point dog here against the Titans.
I'm gonna take no for 1,000. Nah, man. I mean that they should have lost that game in London against the Jags. I'm not a believer in Denver at all. I don't see how they stop. I don't see how they stop Henry at all. This is one of those type games. Like, yeah, I'll go Tennessee, man. Tennessee. Yeah, I'm not. I don't. Like I said, I don't believe in Russ and those Broncos at all. For real. Like they gotta prove it to me. So I'll go Tennessee. Regardless of the quarterback, I'm going with Tennessee on this one.
Matt, I mean, you dissed the Titans offense earlier, but the Broncos offense has more talent, but probably has looked way worse throughout the season. But they had the bye coming off the bye week. Maybe they figured it out. You like the Broncos or the Titans here at 2? It's 2.5. The favorite of the Titans here.
I do like the Broncos. I will take the 2 points. The line was at 3, so it's come down a little bit. I think that's a spelling of the bye week they had. I think it's, the questions with Ryan Tannehill and Malik Willis. But I think that Denver actually has a good formula to stop Derrick Henry. I think that's the biggest reason why I'll take Denver in this. The talent is there for Denver. They just need to use the talent. Like you said, hopefully the bye week has given them that opportunity to figure things out, maybe have some type of script for this game. I definitely feel the under in this one, but I will go with 2 points to the Broncos.
Craig, I expect this to be one of the ugliest games on Sunday. If there was a channel on Red Zone, I don't expect either one of these two teams to enter it very much. But who you like here? Denver's first game without Bradley Chubb.
Yeah, first game without Bradley Chubb and going against Derrick Henry. You nailed it, man. I mean, it's going to be an ugly game, but to me, I mean, Mike Vrabel loves ugly games. That's what Tennessee loves, ugly games. That's what they want. And Tennessee at home, I mean, Denver coming off the bye, I feel like this is a big week to kind of see if they do have anything figured out. And if they do come out and they look good, I won't be that surprised. But I'm taking the Titans in this one. I'll take Mike Vrabel with 1 week over Nathaniel Hackett with 2 weeks. Titans at home.
Facts.
Regardless of who the quarterback is, the way this game's going to play out, I feel like that's right in Tennessee's wheelhouse. That's right where they want it. So I'm going to take Tennessee.
Yeah, you guys nailed it. Sorry, man. You're going to be on Bronco Island. I can't get with the Broncos. I probably won't pick. They've got to prove something here. To me, I can't do it. Maybe I haven't heard if Russ is doing, this game's in Tennessee. I might change my mind if I hear Russ is doing workouts on the airplane again. That seemed to work last game. So if we get a report on Saturday that he's doing high knees on the airport or in the airplane, I'm changing my pick. But until then, give me King Henry. King Henry almost won the damn game for the Titans against the Chiefs. So I expect him. He can do the same thing against the crappy Broncos. Give me the Titans, baby.
Hey, is Mike Vrabel the most underrated head coach or not talked about enough head coach in the league?
Yes, I think so. He's definitely one of the most underrated head coaches.
Yeah, talk about consistency, bro.
Right. I mean,
he won Coach of the Year last year. So I mean, how underrated?
Oh, did he get it?
Yeah.
Did he get that last year?
Yeah, he was the coach of the coach of the year.
I just feel like he don't get talked about enough, man. Considering that he's got Ryan Tannehill and now Malik, and they traded their best wide receiver, and they're still winning ball games, man. So just curious.
Craig, you had something about Vrabel you wanted to chime in about?
No, I was agreeing with Johnny. I just said I think so, man. I mean, people don't when you start talking about the top coaches in the league, even when you're sitting here talking about coaches of the year, and you look, Tennessee's probably going to win their division, probably going to make a little noise in the playoffs, because at the end of the day, if you make the playoffs and you got Derrick Henry, nobody really wants to see you that time of year. And Mike Vrabel's just not somebody that people talk about right now.
Yeah, let's get into the next one here. The biggest spread I think one of the bigger spreads of the week. The Jags going to the Chiefs. Matt, it's 9.5 favorite here for the Chiefs as the Jags come to Arrowhead. How you like this one? Jags, I mean, they're up and down.
I mean, they were down 17 last week to the Raiders. They come back and win that game, but blow a game against the Broncos the week before. I can't quite make this Jaguar team out, but I know how good the Chiefs are, but 9.5 seems awfully steep.
Yeah, I don't like this one. This is probably my least favorite game of the week. The points are just too many points to take. We saw that with Tennessee and Kansas City this past Sunday night. I had a little bit of coin on Kansas City, thought they were going to win by 10 or more, and turns out they almost lose the game. So it's really hard to take these high spreads. I expect the line to actually come down a little bit before Sunday, maybe to 7.5. But I will, at this time, I'll take the Chiefs. I think that, this could be a game for Jacksonville where they do try to prove something. But the fact that it's an Arrowhead coming off a close game with Tennessee, I think the Chiefs want to get back into their comfort zone where they just start, really dominating. So I'll take the Chiefs.
Craig, how you like this one? Chiefs are Jags here.
Yeah, I like the Chiefs in this one too, man. Last week against the Titans, the Titans are just one of those teams that always plays Kansas City tough. It seems like they're always playing them close. I kind of expected that game to be that way, and I feel like this is just one of those weeks where Kansas City kind of reminds everybody who they really are. Jacksonville at Arrowhead is just one of those matchups where Kansas City could win by 20, and I'm not betting against Pat Mahomes at home, especially not against the Jaguars. If it's under 10 points, I mean, 9.5 is getting close to 10, but I'm gonna still take Kansas City.
Johnny, Doug Peterson comes off that Andy Reid coaching tree. Who you like in this one? Does the mentor with the beat the mentee, or how you like this one out?
I would love to pick Jacksonville. I mean, I hate these big spreads like this, especially after what just happened on Sunday night. I mean, it feels like this is one of those Kansas City wants to prove, that what I'm saying, we can dominate people. But I like the Doug Peterson, Trevor Lawrence combo. I mean, I don't think they have any chance of winning this game, but I'm just looking at that 9.5. Like, can they, get a late touchdown to cut the 14-point lead to 7? I'm gonna say the Jags cover the points, bro. I'm gonna take the Jags with the points.
ETN's had his last 5 games over 100 yards,
yep.
All-purpose yards. So,
and their defense will play. So, like I said, I don't think they'll win.
It seems like the Chiefs are always winning games, but it seems like they just can't quite cover. But at 9.5, oh man,
it's all good. I'll ride alone. I'll ride alone. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. It's all good. I
can't back it. I don't trust the Jags at 9.5. If it was somebody else, I'd probably take somebody else. But hey, I meant to mention the Titans. I don't know if that's their difference maker. Ryan Tannehill is going to be back. Shout out to Tanner who said Ryan Tannehill's a huge. Look, he was such a huge difference, Johnny, that the game was close. I guess if Tannehill would have won that game, if he was in there, the Titans would have won that game.
Man.
But anyway, give me the Chiefs at minus 9.5. I'm going to be regretting that one. I feel like I don't know. Something tells me. Johnny, you got your Dolphins. The Browns come to town. The Finns are minus 3.5 favorite here. Still waiting on Deshaun Watson, but Nick Chubb is still floating around. Man, the Dolphins, do they even have a defense? Y'all play defense in Miami at all between the college or the pro team? Because it seems like both teams giving up lots of points last week.
I don't know why you're bringing up old stuff, bro.
Hey, because I got to lead into it because old stuff brings into the new week. So it's a 3.5 favorite here for your Finns.
Yeah, I'm not even going to acknowledge the Hurricanes. So, yeah, like Nick Chubb scares me on this one, to be quite honest. Like, I'm not worried about Jacoby Brissett, but I mean, the Browns they got a good team. They're not, they got a bad record right now, but they got a good team.
They're coming off a bye too, right?
Right. And yeah, Miami is giving up a lot of points. lately. Oh my god, I can't go against my team, man. Like that'll. I'm gonna take the Dolphins, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't cover. But I'll take the Dolphins because as good as Cleveland is, I mean, nobody, I don't know. This offense is starting to really click right now for Miami. So, and they at home right before their bye. So yeah, I'll take Miami and the points. I think Miami wins this game.
Matt, we'll come to you since it's your one of your divisions here. You like the Dolphins here at -3.5. I mean, Browns have always been in a lot of games outside of the Patriots.
I like the Browns. The 3.5 is a good spot. I think the Dolphins probably win this game, be very close, but Browns are always in a good run game. Dolphins don't know what happened to the defense. I think they just feel that Tua and Tyreek and Jalen can score so many points, so they probably just take the day off when they're out there. But the problem with that is when you play a team like Cleveland that can take time of possession, run the ball, it's going to be a close game, I think. I think Miami can squeak it out, but I'll take the points for Cleveland.
Craig, I feel like Hill and Waddle and the Browns secondary hasn't been very good. It's been ate up at times. Remember, Joe Flacco ate this team up. So it'll be interesting to see what Tua can do against that Browns secondary. But as we've noted, your boy Justin Fields ran over him. So if Fields can run over him, what's Nick Chubb's going to do?
Yeah, I mean, that's a little different just because
I was about to say if you look at what Khalil Herbert and Montgomery did combined, they had 69 yards. Just saying.
I think that with the Browns, I mean, last week was probably the best their defense has looked, but I don't know how much of that was just Cincinnati just not being right, because I don't know if Cleveland and Cincinnati played last Sunday, I feel like it's totally different, So the thing that worries me with the Browns is just Miami is explosive, and if Miami can get some explosive offensive plays going like they did last week, I just don't know that Nick Chubb is enough on the offensive side to keep up like what Justin Fields did last week and how he was able to keep the Bears in the game. So if Miami can get something going and kind of take Cleveland's run game out of it, I don't like the Browns. Like Johnny said, Miami's offense is clicking. I mean, we were saying the Bears had something figured out. Miami's offense has got something figured out when Tua's there. I mean, it's looked good every game that Tua has started. And being at home, man, I'm going to take Miami to win and cover.
Man, it's 3.5. That hook is what gets me. I like Miami. I just like too many weapons. Jeff Wilson got into the act and had a huge game. Yep. Looks like the real number one running back there. Dolphins make them nice moves here. I'm going to go with Miami in Miami. Give me the 3.5 or -3.5 here. I'll take the favorite.
Miami's backfield looking like the 2019 San Francisco 49ers backfield.
Exactly.
Absolutely. There was talk of them trying to get Tevin Coleman and just get the whole trio going. But
they probably know most of the playbook, right?
The band's back together.
I mean, Mike McDaniel actually scouted him, and he's the one that went and found Jeff Wilson before that draft that year. So yeah, he knew him. So I'm good. And not for nothing, just a side note, but the Dolphins' run defense is playing a lot better than the secondary. Just a little side note there. So it should be a fun game, but I'm worried about Nick Chubb. I ain't gonna lie.
Everybody's worried about Nick Chubb. And speaking of everybody's worried about Saquon. Craig, the Texans head to New York here. The Giants are the favorite at -5. Who you like here? The Texans or Saquon and the Giants?
Man, this one, I don't know if you saw the picture that I sent you of my picks earlier. I originally had the Giants and I had it scribbled out and I switched it back to the Texans. Sitting here right now, I mean, I almost halfway want to switch it back to the Giants, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stick with the Texans. I'm going to take the Giants on the money line, but I just feel like this is another one of those games that, I mean, I don't think the Giants offense is all that pretty. I think Houston can run the ball if they can do anything, and I feel like they can, stay in the game. And so I'm gonna take Houston.
Matt, you gave Dameon Pierce your rookie of the year so far. Who you like here? You like the Texans at +5 going up against the Giants? Can Pierce get it done here?
Yeah, unfortunately, Dameon Pierce is the rookie of the year on a 1-win team. So I will take the 5 points for the Giants. It's less than a touchdown. I like the money line for the Giants a little bit better, but I will take the 5 points. I think that the Giants, have a strong defense. Houston's super one-dimensional. Brandon Cooks is. I don't know if he's in the building. They say he's in the building. He's not very happy with the Houston Texans. So there's really not a whole lot going on for them right now. And this is the tank for Bryce Young time. So I think Giants win and cover that 5 points. But if you're not super comfortable, I'd take the money line.
Yeah. Johnny, who you like here? Giants at plus or -5, or you like the Texans here? Texans looked, they covered against the Eagles. It was a little bit bigger spread.
Yeah, I wish this was 3 and a hook, but I'm going with the guys here on this one. I just mentioned about Brian Dable. They're coming off a bye, and yeah, Matt hit it right on the head with the 1-6-1 Houston Texans. I like Dameon Pierce. I actually like Davis Mills too. But, yeah, there's a lot of drama going on with that Brandon Cooks thing. I don't think he plays because he's all kinds of pissed off. So, I think the Giants win and I think the Giants win and they cover. But, yeah, I wouldn't put money on this unless, like Craig said, unless you're going to just take, the money line and take the Giants. But, yeah, they got to make a statement. If the Giants are going to, the Giants are going to be for real. You don't lose this game, you know what I'm saying, and you should win it by at least a touchdown.
Yeah, this game, man, it's so it's 5 is a lot.
It's so tempting to pick the Texans.
Yeah, right. It is. Right. Both these teams want to run the football. Neither one of these teams have they have a mediocre quarterbacks, like not good but not great quarterbacks, and neither one of them have a damn wide receiver. So, but at 5, I'm riding with the Texans here at 5. I love the Giants money line, but I like the Texans at +5.
Wow.
We're divided.
We are divided. The 2-2-2 here. We get into two teams that are searching for something. Jesus, the Saints. This game's not lucky for Andy Dalton. It's not on prime time, but they are still they're the favorite. Actually, headed into Heinz Field. Steelers are coming off a bye here. Matt, who you like here? The Saints at -3, headed to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh a home dog here.
Yeah, I think I'll take the Steelers on this one. Home field, bye week. I do hear Najee Harris may not be the starter. So we'll see how Jalen Warren does. He's been pretty explosive. Saints are kind of just all over the place right now. I think that they're really missing Drew Brees and wondering what they should be doing at quarterback. And Mike Tomlin is a defensive genius. And, these mediocre quarterbacks, Andy Dalton, Jameis Winston, if he plays, Taysom Hill when he gets the 3 snaps at quarterback, Pittsburgh, Tomlin's really good at defense. I think that he's able to handle them. Kamara, he had a slow night, but I think he'll still have a good game, obviously. But I'll take the 3 points for the Steelers at home.
Johnny, it looks like TJ Watt is rearing back. Not 100% sure if he's a go yet for this game, but he's slowly coming back. But very rarely in the Mike Tomlin era have the Steelers been a dog at home. But here we are against a Saints team that looked real bad on Monday night. Who you like here?
This is talk about a hard game to pick right here. Pittsburgh has been so up and down. I know they're 2-6, but they've actually been close in a few games. They're one of the few teams that actually held us under 20 in Pittsburgh. a short week, I guess you can say. Yes, for New Orleans, I'm a Mike Tomlin fan, and I actually like Kenny Pickett over Trubisky. I like what Kenny Pickett has going with George Pickens because I think Pickens is for real. They always seem to find wide receivers in freaking Pittsburgh, man. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh on this one. Yeah, definitely. I'll take Pitt.
Craig, what about you, my brother? The Saints? Andy Dalton's bad in prime time, but he's been pretty decent in regular time.
Yeah, I'm riding with the guys on this one, man. It's Mike Tomlin coming off the bye week going against Andy Dalton at home. I mean, I just feel like I have to take Pittsburgh. I just feel like, I don't know. Pittsburgh's offense scares me because New Orleans' defense is pretty good. So Pittsburgh might have trouble scoring the football. But like I said, it's coming off the bye week with Mike Tomlin going against a team like New Orleans with Andy Dalton. I have to take Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm with you guys, man. Mike Tomlin off the bye week. As bad as the Saints looked on Monday night, come on, Pittsburgh. Come on, you can do it, baby. Give me the points. Give me Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. We're all in on the Steelers, baby. Let's get into the most absurd team of the week. The Colts headed to the Raiders. Jeff Saturday tweets the Raiders stink and then gets the head coaching job with no experience whatsoever of anything other than being Peyton Manning's center and play with a lot of great Hall of Famers. But they're rightfully so. They are the dog against even the dog Raiders. And I don't mean dog as in good dog. I mean dog as in bad. The Raiders absolutely stink, but the Colts even stink worse. Craig, you taking that Jeff Saturday get his first win and to cover here at +6 for the Colts?
This is terrible, man. These are two teams I wouldn't probably pick against anybody else in the league, but unfortunately they're playing each other. I got to pick one. Man, the Raiders they're so wishy-washy and have just looked so bad. And you never know when there's just a new voice in the locker room. Sometimes just a spark can happen, even if it's just for one game. I don't think the Colts are going to be very good. I don't think they're going to finish the year strong. But with 6 points, I'll take them against the Raiders. You don't know what Raiders you're going to get. If the Raiders come out and win this game by 15, I'm not going to be surprised. But if the Colts somehow find a way to win this game, I'm not going to be surprised because the Raiders stink. So I'm going to take Colts with 6.
Johnny, the Raiders find new ways to lose every week. They were up 17-0 against the Jaguars. They were up big on Arizona, and now they got the new fresh face Jeff Saturday and Sam Ehlinger coming to town. You like the Colts or the Raiders here? Raiders the home favorite at +6.
That was a key thing that you said right there with the quarterback. I hear you, Craig, on the new voice and stuff like that, and I hate picking the Raiders because they are hot garbage. And then you're giving them 6 points. You know what? The Raiders, come on, man. Come on, Raiders. They got to win this game. Is Jonathan Taylor even playing this game? We don't even know yet.
It looks like he is going to be playing.
He is going to play?
Yes.
Oh, man. You know what? I'm gonna say that, Carr and Devontae and company, and I hate McDaniels as well. This one sucks. You know what? I'm gonna give it to Jeff Saturday and say they cover. I have no confidence in this pick at all whatsoever.
The Indy fired every offensive coach and now have somebody I've never even heard of calling plays. Jeff Saturday just met him, was like, "Yep, hey guy, you're gonna be the guy calling plays." That's like Matt. That's like Jeff calling you out, Matt. I'm like, "Hey, I know we've never met, but you want to call plays on Indy for me on Saturday against the Raiders? You can cover that 6 points, right?"
Fun fact: Jeff Saturday was a head coach. High school, 3-7 was his record. So he has some experience, guys.
Not like my picking record right now.
I'm putting my plague mask on and avoiding this like a bad day. I am not touching this game. I guess I will take the Raiders. I don't want to. Anybody who bets on this game has to know something on the inside because there's not a soul out there that's confident in either of these teams right now. I wouldn't even be confident in the over or the under because it could be somehow a shootout, but then the Raiders just plummet and lose like last week. So I'll give Raiders 6 points, but I'm never going to bet real money on this. Is Monopoly money right here.
Yeah, I feel like when you talk about these teams, I feel like it's the Moneyball situation where he says there's shit, and then there's a level of crap, and then there's us, and that's the Colts right now, and that level of crap right above them is the Oakland Raiders. That's just, I mean, geez.
If before you pick, I'm gonna go ahead and switch to the Raiders for real. I mean, because you're absolutely right about the levels of crap. So the Raiders are just about 6 points higher than the Colts as far as crap is concerned. So I mean, if the Raiders can't win this game, man, they might as well just fire McDaniels. They blow it all up, man. They just got Devontae, trade him away for some picks, and just start all over again, man. If the Raiders can't win this game,
trade him back to Green Bay, we'll give you everything back and then some.
Fun fact about that: the Raiders just waived their recent first-round draft pick.
Yeah, Josh Abrams.
Yeah,
the safety.
He
and then you guys picked them up.
Guys they've dropped that were their first-round picks. So I don't think they have a single first-round pick on their team right now.
No. Every person John Gruden drafted, they pretty much cut at least in the first round.
Right.
I think outside of
your Packers claimed him off waivers, bro.
Yeah, well, hey.
I was hoping he would clear waivers, not for nothing, because we need a safety, but oh my God, the Raiders are oh my God. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Man, I mean, both these teams stink. I say fade me, man. I had the Colts going to the goddamn Super Bowl. And, I gave them the Bodkins KOD. So I'm probably giving the Raiders the Bodkins KOD here because I'm picking the Raiders at -6. Give me the Raiders. They absolutely both these teams. God,
garbage.
I mean,
is there any chance Jeff Saturday goes back to Matt Ryan to try to win? Now. I mean, I'm just saying to try to win.
Colts are trying to tank. I literally feel like
they did it for Andrew Luck. They did it for Andrew Luck.
They're trying to, hey, let's shit the bed. Let's go get Stroud or Bryce or somebody like that. We need a top 5 pick because, by God, we've been playing this quarterback carousel for too long.
Nick, is there a way to get rid of that video of you saying the Colts are making the Super Bowl? I think that would probably be necessary.
Well, he just messed it up by repeating it now.
I own it. You know, that's just the best way I can say
Way to man up. Way to man up there.
Here we go. Mike McCarthy makes his return to Lambeau Field. Aaron said he was going to give Big Mike a hug, Craig, for all that shit you've been talking about how Aaron hated Mike all them years. Well, guess what? Seems like they like each other, asshole. So do the Cowboys, do they cover here? I don't have done forgot -5. Aaron Rodgers a dog at home, which I don't think's ever really happened. I mean, go ahead, Craig. I know you're just basking in the glory of how miserable the Packers are. Right.
Hey, I mean, I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy seeing it, but Aaron Rodgers doesn't care about Mike McCarthy. Aaron Rodgers doesn't really care about anybody not named Aaron Rodgers.
Here you go. I would have started these rumors.
But, listen, man, I mean, Dallas's defense is good, but at the end of the day, as a Bears fan, I've seen enough episodes of Aaron Rodgers in my day that if you're going to give me Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau Field and give me 5 points, I mean, I have to take it. I just can't. As bad as Green Bay has looked, and as good as Dallas's defense has looked, and then as good as Dallas's offense has looked really since Dak has been back. I mean, I see why they're favored on the road in this matchup, but like I said, man, still Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau Field, and you're giving me 5 points. I feel like I have to take it.
Matt, the Bears fan is taking the Packers here at +5. What's your thoughts here, Packers Cowboys, and what's really kind of a historic rivalry? From dating way back in the Ice Bowl days to Favre and Elway dinging it out to even a couple years ago where I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm a Packers fan, but Dez caught the goddamn ball, and so but hey, either way, here we are.
Yeah, I like the Cowboys at 5 points. I don't really know how you can bet Packers right now. It could be a close game, and I wouldn't be surprised. It's the Tom Brady theory. It's the Aaron Rodgers theory. Both these guys are legends of the game, so they can definitely make it close, but they haven't really made it close. And I think that 5 points is perfect for Dallas. It's just under a touchdown. The defense is strong. No Romeo Dubes. He's hurt. I guess Alan Lazard may not play. So I guess Aaron Rodgers is going to toss the ball up 5 yards and catch it himself, and meet Micah Parsons in the middle of the field. So I'll take Dallas with 5 points. I guess there is that shock factor that Green Bay may pull off the upset, but there's just nothing showing that right now, and they're hurt. Dallas is coming off a bye, I believe. So they're going to run it right down the throats of Green Bay with Pollard. So I feel like Dallas has got this game.
Yeah. Johnny, don't pick the Cowboys or don't pick the Packers. I'm like, I'm doing it for you because I didn't even pick them last week. So,
No, I mean, so I got love for you and the whole shit, Nick. But after watching the way Green Bay performed against Detroit, I'm worried for Aaron Rodgers' well-being in this game for real with this defense that Dallas has and Micah Parsons. The offensive line ain't playing well for Green Bay. I mean this might get ugly for you, Nick, for real.
It's
I'm going like Dallas may just put it on. Yeah, I'm going Dallas here, man. It's just it feels weird to pick against Aaron Rodgers at home, but I mean they're just not very good right now, man. Sorry, bro. So yeah, Dallas.
You don't have to apologize. I mean, the Packers absolutely stink. We only scored 9 points against the worst defense in the league. What's Micah Parsons and that Cowboys defense gonna do? Here it is. Micah Parsons probably going to get 3 sacks, a strip fumble, and probably a touchdown. That's how bad. Like, it's just, Craig, I don't know why the hell you're picking the Packers. The damn Bears fan is on Packers Island because if I'm fading myself, I'm keep fading my Packers. Give me the Cowboys at +5.
Hey, last time I was on Packers Island was when they played the Bills and they covered in that game. Honestly, I hope the Packers lose by 50. I hope Aaron Rodgers gets sacked. I'm taking Green Bay, and I will be totally fine if I lose this pick out here on this island.
All right, boys, we got 3 games left here. 2 teams that, I don't even know what is going on with these 2 teams. It's time. One team's not going to fire their head coach because he won them a Super Bowl. Matt Stafford is now in concussion protocol, Johnny. That came out today, so who knows who the hell's starting for them. The Cardinals look awful. Cliff Kingsbury probably needs to go. Looks like D-Hop and Kyler Murray are fighting on the sidelines. Nonetheless, Arizona goes to LA and a straight pick them at 1. It's a 1.5. There's a lot of disappointing teams, and you can add these 2 teams as that part, to the top of that list.
Absolutely, I completely agree with that. I'm not a fan of Arizona at all. The coach, the quarterback, I like D-Hop, but yeah, that was some unnecessary drama on the sidelines there. But the Rams, like I've been saying for the last few weeks, man, the Rams, they got their chip, so I don't think they give 2 craps about this season. At least that's the way they're playing. Now with this kid being in concussion protocol, like I hate picking Arizona, but Like, is Stafford definitely out?
He's not. He's in concussion protocol, so he's got to get through that by Sunday to play.
It depends on what the league wants to
Wednesday.
do, because the league picks and chooses who needs to be out on concussion protocol or not. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Give me. I'm sorry, man. I just can't pick Arizona. I'm picking the Rams at home. Somehow they pull it out and win by more. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a pick 'em basically. So I'll go Rams, man. I can't pick Arizona. I have no confidence in that team at all. The coach, the quarterback, nothing, man. And you're gonna be yelling at a Hall of Famer? Come on, man.
Man, the Rams got their own issues. I mean, I mentioned Stafford, but Jalen Ramsey's yelling at the offense saying, hey, man, y'all need to help us out. Like, we're holding Tom Brady and that Bucks team to no points. Y'all need to help us out, and he didn't do it. So they got their own locker room issues. I mean, that includes the Cam Akers issue that's going on. I mean, this Rams team, it's just, hey, Aaron Donald's probably wishing he would have stayed or would have retired.
Yeah, a big thing that came out today too is that Kyler Murray has a hamstring injury. He didn't practice today. I know you're gonna probably want to change your pick now, Johnny.
No, I already picked the Rams. I already picked the Rams.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
Perfect.
No, that would be
John Wolford versus whoever's the backup for Arizona. I couldn't tell you, unfortunately, but because of the quarterback questions, I don't know if you can even bet this game till Sunday. You know, deciding on who's going to be playing. If it's Kyler versus Stafford, I'll take the 1.5 for the Cardinals. Just at least they can still lose by a point and you cover. But you're basically picking which team's going to win. I'll take the Cardinals. I'm not happy about it. I'm not betting any money on this game. But if it's Wolford versus Kyler, I'll throw some money on Arizona.
Craig, what's your thoughts here on these two crappy teams? Just straight disappoint. I think I had the Rams in the Super Bowl too. I think my Super Bowl pick the Colts and the Rams.
It's not as bad as the Colts.
It might have been.
Hey, to my defense, I went to the emergency room the night we did our picks, so I wasn't in the straight frame. I do want to put that in quotations. I was having a gallstone bladders, had to leave the show midway because thought I was dying. So I will put that in there. I do think I picked the Colts Rams in the Super Bowl. So there's that. Both gave them the KOD.
You kind of alluded to Kyler and Hopkins, going at it on the sidelines, and I think it was the week before that it was Kyler and Kingsbury going at it. So I feel like Arizona's definitely got some issues, and a lot of it revolves around Kyler Murray. And I feel like paying Kyler Murray is going to be something that you're going to look back in retrospect here before too long and see as a mistake. Here in the West, though, with Shanahan and McVay and Kingsbury, it just always seems like, somebody's got the other guy's number, and McVay seems like he's got Cliff Kingsbury's number. And if we're betting this game on Wednesday, I'm gonna just go ahead and assume it's gonna be Stafford versus Kyler, and I'm gonna take the Rams. I mean, it's basically a pick'em game. Rams at home. I'm gonna take McVay over Kingsbury at the end of the day, so I'm gonna take the Rams.
Didn't the new Call of Duty game just come out too?
Yeah.
Hey, Kyler Murray's got more important things to do than to play football.
Colt McCoy's the backup to Arizona. So that's not a bad backup. I mean, Colt McCoy's been around the league and he's won some games. A couple years, was it last year, year before? He won like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah. Battle of the backups, I'd take Arizona.
Yeah. But Craig's right. It seems like I can't pick Arizona, man. I picked them last week and they just let me down. I'm kind of with you guys. We're all in on LA here. We're all in on the Rams.
I'll take Arizona.
So Matt, you're taking Zona here.
Matt's flying solo there. Does D-Hop ask for a trade after the season?
Hey, coming to Green Bay, baby. Shit.
No, he wants to play on the other side of Stefan. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. Hey, I hope not. Hey, cancel the season if that happens.
Actually, I'll take Derrick Henry instead. We need a running game.
God.
Hey, God.
Bro.
Yeah, that would be even more dangerous. Let's get into the late Sunday night game here. It's Chargers headed to the 49ers. 49ers, pretty good size favorite here at home at -7. Matt, we have a saying here on the Bodkin Show. It's Chargers going to charge it, which means they're going to win some games that they probably shouldn't win, and they're going to lose some games in crazy ways that they probably shouldn't lose. But either way, the Chargers here, I mean, they're banged up. Keenan Allen's been hurt. Mike Williams has been hurt. 49ers are getting healthy coming off the bye week. We saw how good CMC looked against the Rams. Now with another full week off and a bye. You like the Rams here at -7, or you like the Chargers at +7?
I like the Chargers at +7. There's speculation that Allen may play. It's not definite yet, but the Chargers are also getting healthier on the defensive side of the ball, which is something that they've really had a hard time with this season. 7 points is just a little too much for me. I don't think the Niners lose this game, but Sunday Night Football, it's prime time. Herbert, he's going to ball out, do everything he possibly can to win this game. I don't think it's going to be, for San Francisco walking away with anything. So I'll take the 7 points with the Chargers.
Johnny, the Chargers were lucky to win that game last week. Arizona, they literally stripped the football from them as they were getting ready to score and got the Chargers. Actually, I think, what was it? The Chargers.
Atlanta.
Eckler fumbled.
Atlanta
got it, ran it back, their defender. Then he fumbles it. Chargers get it, first down. And then one play later, San Diego's kicks a game-winning field goal or whatever. But I mean, that's just the Chargers for you.
Yeah, I was literally just thinking, damn, they barely beat Atlanta, and it took something crazy like that for it to happen. I mean, 7 points is a lot of points, but like you said, San Fran's coming off the bye. I'm sure Kyle is coming up with all kinds of crazy stuff to use McCaffrey to do, I mean, if we knew, I mean, Mike Williams should be back, and we don't know about Keenan Allen yet.
Mike Williams probably won't be back.
Probably won't be back.
Keenan's more possible than.
So I mean, who else does he have to throw to? Everett,
Joshua Palmer. He had a good game last week, but yeah.
Yeah, but it was against Atlanta. In Atlanta, San Francisco was rejuvenated after that trade. I'm going to say I think San Fran covers, man. I'm sorry, Rob Logan. Sorry, bro.
Craig, who you like here, San Fran or the Chargers?
So what worries me for the Chargers is that they are terrible against the run, and San Francisco can run the dang ball, and they got Christian McCaffrey now. So it could be, that could be really ugly for the Chargers. Right. But I mean, I ride with the Chargers a lot, man. Chargers going to Charger, and they're going to lose some games, but they're going to be in most of them. And I think, Matt hit the nail on the head with kind of what I'm thinking, man. It's Sunday Night Football. I think Justin Herbert is going to score some points. I don't think the Chargers win the game, but if you're going to give me a touchdown with the Chargers, man, I'm going to take the Chargers.
You got the Chargers. Man, if it wasn't 7, I would probably take the 49ers. But the 49ers, they put it on the Rams 2 weeks ago, fully healthy.
Not only that, but they're looking up at Seattle, man.
Yeah.
They have to win this game to stay with Seattle.
Well, I definitely like the 49ers money line. You know what? I like the 49ers to cover the 7. I trust them way more than I trust the Chargers will do something stupid, like go for it on their own, on their own 20 when it's 4th and 15 or something like that. And Staley will be like, hey, let's go for it, guys. And everybody will look around and be like, what the fuck are we doing? So that'll lead to a 49ers points. Give me the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan's smarter than Staley is. Hey, Rob wants to get rid of Staley, so he was ready to fire him last week.
Yep.
All right, let's get into the last game here.
I think most Charger fans were ready to fire him after the Raiders game that ended their season last year.
Facts.
Yeah, true that. The Monday night game, another big spread here. The Commanders head to Philly at 10.5 dog, Matt. Go ahead. Are you picking your brother's team here to cover the 10.5? Or you like the Commanders? Commanders have played really well since Taylor Heineke's come in. I'm surprised the spread's at 10.5.
I'm very surprised the spread's at 10.5. If the spread stays this way in a few days, I love Washington. I do think it'll probably trickle down a little bit, but I'm gonna say it, and most people don't like it, especially my brother. Philly, they've had a good 8 games, but let's not decorate them as the last undefeated regular season team in the Patriots. I don't think Washington wins this game, but I don't think that Philly, just runs away every time because they have an undefeated record. I think maybe not last year, but there was a season where the Cardinals were 6-7-0, and how did that turn out? I don't think it turned out very well. So easiest regular season schedule is the Philadelphia Eagles. Give me the 10.5 for Washington.
Johnny, the Eagles are coming off a mini bye week. They had a high spread against the Texans and they couldn't cover. Do you like them to cover this one though?
This was a tough one, a divisional game. I loved the backhanded comment there by Matt with the no disrespect, but let me go ahead and disrespect you, Eagles. They put up points, but they've had a lot of close games that shouldn't have been close. They've let a lot of teams kind of come back on them. I don't think Washington could win this game, even though I like Tyler Heineke, but I'm gonna. And then of course Philly could just beat them 30-10. I'm gonna say Washington finds a way. I like Tyler Heineke, and I might have a couple Heinekes that night too. So I think Washington's gonna cover the points, man. They ain't winning the game, but I think they'll cover at least. That's a lot, man. 10.5 for a divisional game. It's a lot, bro.
Craig, Washington should have really beat Minnesota outright on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Let Minnesota get back into that one. Now they go into hostile territory in Philly. 10.5 dogs.
Yeah, I'm with the guys on this one, man. I'm gonna go with the Commanders. The NFC East as a whole has looked pretty good. I feel like you give me any matchup in that division and you give me 10.5 points with any of them, that's what I'm gonna take. I don't think the Commanders win the game. I think Philly stays undefeated, but 10.5's a lot, man. It's just for a division game, Monday Night Football game here in the NFC East, like you said. The Commanders have looked better. It's not if this with Carson Wentz playing, I might take
facts.
Honestly, is played all right, and well enough that if you're going to give me 10.5 points, man, I'm going to take the Commanders.
Yeah, Taylor Heineke will find Terry McLaurin, and they probably lose this game by 10. So the half will be there, and maybe it's a 7-point game at minimum. But I like the Eagles money line. Love the Eagles money line, but give me the Commanders at 10.5. Just too big. I'll take the commies.
Washington's D is playing pretty good too, so that's a lot of points, man.
They held Delvin Cook under 100, almost 100 rushing yards on Sunday. Right. So getting better. Chase Young should be coming back. Before we get out of here, Matt, let everybody know where we can catch you at and what you got going on.
Yep. So tomorrow we'll be on the show with my brother for another Let's Talk Sports Thursday show. You can follow me at Larison Betts right there and right under my face here on Twitter. That's really the main focus for me is Twitter. And potentially the Sunday night show for Let's Talk Sports also.
All right. We appreciate you, Matt, coming on. Thank you for joining us. Johnny, what else you got going on this rest of the week, brother?
Well, I just recorded earlier the Let's Talk Miami Dolphins recap of the Bears game, and a kind of like a mid-season, overall reaction to it. Friday night I'll be doing the preview for the Sunday game against those Cleveland Browns and Jacoby Brissett. Like I said, I'm worried about Nick Chubb, but I got that show coming out Friday night, 8:00. I'm gonna see if I can put together the round table on Saturday afternoon for Dan, but if not, then I'll be back for the Sunday morning game. We riding on those Sunday mornings, And then I got like 3 shows on Sunday. So I'll be on Sunday morning, then I'll be on Sunday night at 7, and then I got the post-game show after the Sunday night game with Rob, where hopefully he's not too upset about San Francisco putting it on his Chargers.
Craig, you got any last and final thoughts here before we get out of here?
No, I don't think so. I know I missed a couple of the picks earlier. I know that Tampa game I was coming on right at the end of that, but I don't know, man, the way that Tampa won that game and squeaked it out at the end, sometimes that's a spark, and that division's very winnable. Tom Brady's a guy that if he can get the troops going and they can get on a hot streak, it wouldn't surprise me, man. So, I didn't get to say that little piece, but don't be surprised if Tampa, if 40 seconds at the end of a game against the Rams can turn their whole season around, man. It wouldn't shock me.
True. Yeah, seems like you and Matt are on the same page. Matt said Bucks to the Super Bowl after that, so I'm holding him to it, All right, folks. Hey, this has been another great episode of the Bodkin Show. You guys know what to do. Be a friend, tell a friend. Hit that subscribe button. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. I'll be back in the morning doing the weekly wrap-up show. I didn't get it put out this morning. Went to the gym with the wife, so we'll be putting that out tomorrow morning. So there's that. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, share. Plenty of come on. Let's talk sports. Dan, get better, buddy. I know you're still recovering.
Yes,
I know you're
sir.
still watching and listening to us, but we miss you. We're holding down the fort for you, brother. Again, be a friend, tell a friend, folks. Hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. Tell your friends about the Bodkin Show. We appreciate it. For everybody else, I'm going to hit that outro. Thanks, everybody, for joining. We'll catch you on Wednesday, tomorrow morning, and then I'll also be back. Craig, Saturday. We're going Saturday morning, a Head Kicks and Haymakers show, our UFC show.
Yes. Big pay-per-view card coming up this weekend.
Big UFC 281. So we'll be talking that, and then we'll do Sunday UFC 281 post show and Sunday Let's Talk Sports and our Sunday week show. So plenty to come here on the Bodkin Show. We appreciate everybody. We'll see you soon.